Hello there, good evening. Welcome to Look North, our top story tonight. Parents' disappointment as police say there'll be no charges over alleged abuse at special schools in South Yorkshire.
All this horrific abuse happened, it's written down in the reports, yet no organisation, no commissioner, no individual member of staff, nobody has been properly held to account.
The company that runs the home says it's deeply sorry to those affected. Also tonight, a driver's lucky escape after his car was dragged 100 metres along a barrier on the A1. Eid prayers are broadcast live from Bradford as friends and family celebrate the end of Ramadan. And 500 park runs and still going, Tony's 15 years volunteering in Bradford.
And although there has been a lot of cloud around today, there's been some sunshine in parts and certainly blue skies will be with us all the way through this week. Join me for that detailed forecast.
Hello there, I hope you had a lovely weekend. Thanks for your company tonight. Relatives say they're hugely disappointed that no charges will be brought against staff accused of abusing 95 vulnerable children at residential special schools near Doncaster. It follows a 4-year police investigation. Now, the family of one young man say he was abused physically and psychologically while under the care of the homes run by the Hesley Group. Hesley say it's deeply sorry to those affected. Olivia Richwald has our top story tonight.
This is Oliver. He's 25 and has autism and complex disabilities. He loves Strictly Come Dancing and volunteers at a dogs charity. While he was being cared for at Fullerton House near Doncaster, his parents say he was abused.
There were staff there that were abusive to him, both physically and psychologically.
He'd literally been there a few weeks and he came home with a massive bruise. I've still got a picture of that bruise. He would come home without any underpants on, for example. He would have been wearing clothes that were ripped. He wasn't clean. There was an incident where he was on the floor for 5 hours.
A national safeguarding review found residents face systemic and sustained abuse and neglect at 3 children's homes run by the Hesley Group. A BBC investigation discovered internal reports of children being punched, kicked in the stomach and locked outside naked at the homes between 2018 and 2021, when they were subsequently closed. The homes had been rated as good by Ofsted throughout. Many of the residents were non-verbal. Oliver, however, was able to report what had happened and was interviewed by the police.
That was kind of like quite a good supportive process. But yes, at the end of it, we had the police coming back to us and to Oliver and going, yeah, well, we believe that what you're telling us happened, but there's nothing we can do about it because the CPS are saying you're an unreliable witness, there isn't enough evidence.
The cases of more than 100 children and young people were examined by South Yorkshire Police. 95 of the cases have been closed, 11 remain open and under investigation.
We weren't surprised, but hugely disappointed. Disappointed for us and frustrated and angry as parents, but really sad for Oliver.
But yet we know that all this horrific abuse happened, it's written down in the reports, yet no organisation, no commissioner, no individual member of staff, nobody has been properly held to account for that.
South Yorkshire Police has commissioned an independent review into whether all lines of inquiry have been fully explored. The Hesley Group has previously said it's deeply sorry to those who've been affected. It says it continues to cooperate fully with the investigation. Oliver is now successfully living in Shropshire. It's a long way from his parents in North Yorkshire, but they believe he is safe. Olivia Richwald, BBC Look North.
Next night, a woman from North Yorkshire is demanding answers from the NHS after her husband nearly died from sepsis that she says was missed by nurses. Carol Williams says her husband had been visited by community staff at their home in Caton just hours before his leg turned purple. The Trust says it's investigating. Carla Fowler has more.
On the 21st of March, John Williams was rushed by ambulance to Scarborough Hospital. He'd collapsed at home in Caton and was delirious. Earlier that day, community nurses had visited him for a prior condition, but despite severe swelling in his leg and extreme pain, no action was taken. He was later diagnosed with sepsis.
It just deteriorated more and more. Then my middle son come downstairs and said, his leg's going purple, Mum. So then I rang up 999. I was terrified.
John had been deemed medically fit to leave Scarborough Hospital that same week, having spent 3 weeks there following a fall. But after discharge, his leg pain got worse and worse. Nobody diagnosed sepsis until it was almost too late. After he was brought in by ambulance, Carol was called and told to come to the hospital with their sons.
They basically told you he was going to die?
Yes, twice. Twice they said that. And they said, we're going to stop treatment.
I was a bit in denial at first, but then when I saw him, it just broke my heart a bit. And I didn't really know what to do. I was asking the doctor, is there any way he can save him? And they said it will be a miracle if they can.
Thankfully, though, medics at Scarborough Hospital did save him. John is still recovering there. But now Carol wants answers.
Right.
How do you feel? What happened to you?
An experience in sepsis.
Yes.
This is terrible, the way I've been dealt with.
The nursing team should have picked up that was sepsis that day. As soon as we went into the hospital, they shouldn't have kept saying, oh, he's not going to survive the morning. They should have helped him more. He was yelling out in pain.
A spokesperson for York and Scarborough Teaching Hospitals NHS Foundation Trust said they were sorry to hear about the concerns, which will be taken seriously, and are disappointed to hear of any occasion where we fall short. We are in contact with Mrs Williams to understand and follow up her concerns, which will be investigated by services within our trust, and any opportunities for learning addressed by the relevant teams. Humber Teaching NHS Foundation Trust, which provides community nursing in Scarborough, declined to comment due to patient confidentiality. Carol says she'll pursue legal means to get an apology and to ensure other families don't receive the same treatment. Carla Fowler, BBC Look North, Scarborough.
You are watching Monday's Look North. Still to come on tonight's programme. It's advantage Sheffield United as Leeds let their lead slip deep in added time at Ellen Road. We'll have all the action. But before that, an inquest has heard how a woman who was murdered by her estranged husband left him several weeks earlier, with him unwilling to accept the end of their relationship. 63-year-old Karen O'Leary from Leeds was found dead next to her husband Dennis in April last year. He'd stabbed her more than 60 times and then set them both on fire. Police say Mr O'Leary had visited his GP about violent outbursts. The coroner concluded her death was unlawful killing. The driver of a car dragged along the central barrier of the A1 today has escaped with only minor injuries. Take a look at this. The car ended up wedged in mid-air after being pulled along by a lorry for 100 metres. It happened near Catterick just after 9 o'clock this morning. Richmond Fire Service, who attended the scene, called it amazing that the driver was not badly hurt and said that it could have been so much worse. It really could, couldn't it? What a miracle that is. Now, the shock birth of 3 lion cubs at Yorkshire Wildlife Park has been confirmed as a mistake of inbreeding. The mother and son were rescued from Ukraine, but despite the female being on contraception, she got pregnant. The park said the pair were not separated because it would have compromised their welfare, but it has no intention of any more breeding, and the cubs all appear healthy, according to the park. Now, Muslims across our region are celebrating Eid with family and friends. The festival of breaking the fast, as it's called, marks the end of the month of Ramadan. A service from Bradford Central Mosque was live on the BBC earlier today, and that's the first terrestrial broadcast of its kind. And another special programme is planned for tonight. Beth Parsons has all the details.
Welcome to Bradford, the focal point of multiple BBC broadcasts today, celebrating Eid. Now, very shortly, I'm going inside a cafe that has been turned into a TV set for the occasion. First, though, around 1,500 worshippers attended Bradford Central Mosque earlier today for prayers and a service. Many more people watched it live on television. Our reporter Arzu Dutta has more.
Right here at the City of Culture, Bradford, the Central Mosque hosted the first ever BBC live coverage of Eid service. It was led by Peer Syed Hassan Shah in front of a congregation of 1,500 worshippers, both men and women. This followed on from Eid celebrations across the country over the weekend. The mosque is a hub for the local Muslim community, and today the nation got a chance to step into one of the Eid prayers from the comfort of their own home. This marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan, and over 8,000 people prayed here throughout the day.
Many people have never been to a mosque, so they don't know what happens inside a mosque, how a mosque looks from inside, what do Muslims do there. So I believe it will be a good opportunity for us to learn. Allahu Akbar. It is a bit emotional as well, standing where my father once stood, and I also feel a deep sense of duty to convey the true message of Islam as well to the wider audience.
The iconic dome of the mosque has been made with Yorkshire sandstone. This is the first time a full service of Islamic worship has been broadcasted on mainstream UK television.
I'm in Bradford 47 years. I'm not seeing like this.
Before I used to read at home, but this is my very first experience, and alhamdulillah, I'm so happy. I really enjoyed.
It felt amazing, peaceful. It's always peaceful. Yeah, it's beautiful. That's my little boy's first prayer.
I think it's the more women need to come to the mosque for a Eid Namaz, or because I've been here first time and there's no much women is here.
It was absolutely fantastic. I mean, we come here regularly, every Eid we come here and it's always busy.
To make this moment inclusive for all backgrounds, the prayers and sermons were in Quranic, Arabic and English. Bradford is a melting pot of culture, and today was a milestone in British Muslim history. And a Eid Mubarak from all of us at BBC Look North. Arzu Dutta, Bradford.
And if you missed that programme, you can catch it again on the BBC iPlayer. Now, welcome back to Bradford City Centre. We're inside a cafe that has become a TV set for tonight, because Celebrity Eid is going to be broadcast live at 20 to 11 this evening. Now, this place, like many other business owners in the city, knows that Eid brings big business. And our reporter Aisha Iqbal has been to find out more.
Eid is big business. In fact, it's worth more than £1 billion to the UK economy. There are more than 440,000 Muslims living in our region, and many of them have been hitting the shops to make sure they're ready for the big day.
This is one of the busiest periods in our business. We've seen about a 60% increase in our sales within this last 2 weeks because of Eid. We're getting customers like from Birmingham, Glasgow, Scotland. So from all of the UK, the customers come to Bradford for Eid shopping especially.
We came all the way from Manchester today because we heard about this place, my first time here. So we'll have a look around, and I'm hoping that we will go back with something.
And it's not a party without lots of food.
We're running out of everything, to be honest. We're constantly having to restock. One item in particular that I'd say would be oil and a lot of drinks. Normally they'd be doing a basket shop. Tend to see that a lot of customers are doing a full trolley shop.
On the Eid we spend a lot of money. When there's a lot of guests coming in the house, so you have to buy a lot of things, extra things. You have to do extra shopping to feed them.
Looks like a dinosaur. Wow.
Sonia makes and ships henna cones, also known as Mendi cones, across the UK. Over the years, she's painted intricate patterns onto thousands of hands, and she's never busier than at Eid.
At what point do you think women realise, girls realise, that they could make money out of Mendi?
Yeah, so I'd say the journey's been quite recent into that transition of actually having the confidence to start charging for services. But this is something that you could easily adapt and do in the comfort of your own home. So there's lots of benefits, and I absolutely love Mendi, and I think I'll be doing Mendi until post-retirement, most likely.
After a month of fasting and reflection, homes across the region will be alive with the taste and colour of Eid.
Eid Mubarak!
Welcome back to the temporary TV set of the programme Celebrity Eid. It's on this evening on BBC One. Rehearsals are in full swing. It's going to be hosted by Jason Mohammed with the help of celebrity chef Asma Khan, plus comedians, sports stars, musicians and actors all getting involved. 10:40 live on BBC One tonight from here in Bradford. And for everybody celebrating, Eid Mubarak.
Yes, indeed. Hope you have a wonderful time celebrating with your family and friends. On to sport now, and there's certainly celebrations in the ranks, isn't there, Ollie? Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Amy. Yeah, it was end of the international break, straight back into it. I think this is what we're going to be calling the business end of the season. It certainly feels like it, doesn't it? Well, Sheffield United remain top of the Championship after Leeds United failed to win at the weekend. Or against Swansea, Willie Gnonto with this strike, firing through a crowd of players to put them 2-1 up with just minutes to go. Look at those celebrations. They thought they'd won it, but one final twist as the Swans equalised in the 96th minute. Leeds remain second, 2 points behind Sheffield United, but boss Daniel Farke says he's 100% convinced they will get promoted.
I told the lads after the game, can't ask for more. What we did, of course, we're not at our best football-wise first half. But the heart we showed and what we did and how we reacted and found the next gears, how we reacted also to the sucker punch, how the players who came in made an impact, was exactly what you need to do, was perfect.
Well, it's all changed at League One Rotherham United. They've sacked manager Steve Evans following their run of 7 defeats in 11 matches. Fans booed at the end of their game against Crawley Town after losing 4-0. This goal from teenage starlet Kamari Doyle kicking off scoring went from bad to worse for them. Evans said he felt his credit at the club had run out, with former coach Matt Hamshaw now taking temporary charge. Well, another win for Doncaster Rovers sees them edge closer to promotion out of League Two. Goals from Owen Bailey, Jordan Gibson and Harry Clifton gave Rovers a deserved victory. They now sit a point outside the automatic promotion places with a game in hand over teams around them. Chesterfield's good form continues with a win over Barrow, keeping slim playoff hopes alive. Substitute Michael Jacobs tried this from the edge of the area, helped by a huge deflection. Chesterfield won't care how they're scored. That's now 4 wins from 5 games. And some worrying news about Sheffield Tigers Speedway star Ty Woofenden. He's in a medically induced coma after a crash while racing for a club in Poland. Sheffield Tigers say he's in a stable condition in intensive care after suffering multiple fractures and an injury to his chest. Our thoughts here at Look North, of course, with him and his family. Amy?
Indeed, yeah. Get well soon. We're on to your favourite subjects, Ollie. Park run.
Love it.
How many are you at?
Coming up to 100 now. So doing quite well. Absolutely loving it.
We can't hear you, I'm afraid. Sorry, your mic's off. Sorry about that. Me trying to start conversation with you and we can't even hear you. Never mind. Well, for this man, his mantra is running is a team sport. And I'll tell you, Ollie's done 100 park runs. For the last 15 years, this man has definitely proved that running is a team sport. Tony Kingham has volunteered for the park run in Lister Park in Bradford from pretty much the very start. And this weekend, the runners planned for a secret surprise for him to say thank you. Our cameras were there to catch the moment, as Kathy Killick reports.
Brilliant. Well done.
Every weekend,
Go on, mate.
rain or shine, the park runners in Lister Park in Bradford know they can count on volunteer Tony. He's been here with a fist bump or a word of encouragement for 15 years. He's even got his own special spot, a corner named after him. And on Saturday, it was his 500th run. An incredible achievement.
It's an absolute legend of Bradford Park Run. And everyone knows him, everyone loves him and everyone respects him. He is really well known in sort of Bradford running circles. He does a lot of work for the Bingley Harriers. He supports local junior cross-country events. And he's a champion of everybody, every runner, every athlete, everyone who comes past gets that absolute buzz from seeing Tony and is G'd on and supported up the hill.
Unbeknownst to Tony, a special guest has been invited to celebrate Olympic legend Alistair Brownlee. Tony taught Alistair at Bradford Grammar School and set him on track to become the world-class athlete we all know.
Hip hip! Hey!
Tony's already close to tears as he poses with runners, and he doesn't yet know who's coming next. it's a sweet moment.
We're just across the road from Bradford Grammar School, where he took pupils like me out running and to races every single day of my school career, pretty much for I think 40 years, and then 20 years of with Bingley Harriers a few times a week. You know, again influencing hundreds of young people to enjoy sport, be inspired by sport, and be active, and 500 park runs as well. It's there's I think very few people that have had that kind of legacy and impact on so many young people.
Very humbling, I must say. Slightly overwhelming. And it's just so wonderful to see so many people of so many different sizes, shapes, speeds, all giving of their best. And I love it.
A lap of honour for our hero of the sidelines, proof, though you may not think so, that running is a team sport. Cathy Killick, BBC Look North.
Oh, fantastic. Well done, Tony. What a lovely surprise. Paul is back with us, and I know it's been warm, but I don't think that sounds from Yorkshire, but we'll skim over that.
Not, but I love your dress. We're almost Bradford City, Claret and Amber tonight.
We're definitely not, but if you say so. So it has been gorgeous, hasn't it? Sunshine's on the way.
That's right, sunshine on the way. We're at the end of March, of course. It's time for statistics. And, you know, it's been exceptionally dry. I've been in touch with Sheffield Western Park. And it turns out we've had the fewest number of wet days in March since 1938, which is really quite something, isn't it? And if you combine February and March, it really has been quite extraordinary. The question that many people are asking, where has all the rain gone?
Where has all the rain gone, Paul?
That's the question you were supposed to be asking me, and I'll answer it now because it's really interesting. I've got a graphic that just shows you how Europe's fared. This is February and March. Some spots in Northern Europe have had 3 days of rain in 2 months. Look where the rain's been. Spain and Portugal, the jet stream relentlessly bringing rain. Some spots have had 50 days of rain in 60. It's been the wettest March on record. So that tells you a story why it's been so dry. We've had high pressure, the jet stream's been pushed through Spain and Portugal, and they've had all the rubbish weather.
So April tomorrow, Easter on the way.
Yep.
Will the nice weather last?
Well, I mean, the extraordinary thing is probably the first half of April will see a continuation of the fine and settled weather with loads of sunshine, so it's you know, turning into quite something. I won't go as far as Easter because that's, I think, is that the third week in April, and I'm not that clever, so we'll just stick with the first half of April. Let me just show you the contacts. If you've got any super duper questions you'd like to ask me, the QR code is on your screen. Just ask me anything about weather and climate, but of course keep it clean. Right, let me show you a couple of pictures that you've sent me in the last 24 hours. That's a cracker. That was Silsden, and it highlights the contrast we've had today because much of Yorkshire actually has been pretty cloudy. That was Silsden this afternoon, but if you take a look at the other side of our region, that was Scarborough this morning, and those skies are going to be with the whole of Yorkshire and the North Midlands for the rest of the week. So a fantastic start to April on the way. Address is on your screen if you want to send some pictures of that dazzling sunshine that's coming from tomorrow. Let's have a look at the headline. Very straightforward. Dry and sunny, a bit chilly at night, but the high pressure, which, as I say, has been with us for more or less 5 or 6 weeks, is sat there. Another wet weather system going through Spain and Portugal. So if you fancy a bit of rain, head down there. But the sunshine is all ours for the rest of the week. There's the cloud that really caused a few problems. It didn't break up as forecast, but it will do through this evening and overnight. It's already clear across some eastern and southern areas. Elsewhere will become clear overnight. Might be a bit of mist and patchy fog in places, but most of us will stay clear. Just a chance of a touch of ground frost with lows down to 2 or 3 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow's high water time is the first high water time in April. Scarborough 6:52, Bridlington at 7:13. So any mist and patchy fog first thing in the morning will soon clear, and then a very straightforward forecast. It's dry, mainly sunny, lots of blue sky and just a little bit of cloud here and there. Temperatures, well, the best will be inland. This will be a feature of the weather this week. 15, 16 inland, but I'm afraid you've got a sea breeze along the coast, just 9 or 10 in Scarborough, 10 Celsius, a cold 50 Fahrenheit. Look at that for an extended outlook. Not bad, is it? 17 on Thursday, more cloud on Saturday, but it is fine throughout. That's the forecast.
Looks glorious. Let's hope it stays that way for the school holidays. Kids break up this Friday. You back with me tonight, 10:30?
I am, can't wait.
It's a date. Join us then, 10:30. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye for now.